My name is EVOO, this is my wife Laura, and welcome to this special episode of Cooking with the Koyas.
Hi everyone.
It's special because it's been a year since we started our cooking channel and sharing recipes with each and every one of you. So because it's a special episode, we thought we'd do a special recipe. This recipe goes back 35 years. I'll take you back to the mountains of Abruzzo, Italy, to a town called Bugnara, in where my cousin served us a white pasta with cream, and it was spectacular. And today, folks, we're going to share that recipe with you. So this recipe we're going to do for 2 people. So if you're cooking for 4, quite simply, just double it. Okay, so we're going to start off with 200 grams of spaghetti. Roughly 100 grams per person. So 200 grams of spaghetti, and try to get a good Italian brand of pasta. We also have a half a pound of ground beef, 1/2 pound of mushrooms that have been sliced and diced. We have a tablespoon of parsley for garnish at the end, 1/4 cup of beef broth, and I sliced and diced one medium-sized onion. It comes to about 3/4 cup of sliced and diced onion, and then I took a half a carrot and I shred it, and it comes to about 2/3 of a cup of shredded carrot. And I used this side, these are the side of the grater with the holes, the kind of elongated holes, not that grated side, but this side right here. That's what I used. Okay, in addition we have 1.5 teaspoons of extra virgin olive oil, 1.5 tablespoons of butter, a half a cup of heavy cream, and 1 teaspoon of flour. Let's start cooking. Okay, so I'm going to get started, and Laura's agreed to cook the beef, the ground beef. So I'm going to get my end of the deal here going, Laura.
Okay.
So in goes the butter, and in goes 1.5 teaspoons of extra virgin olive oil.
Of course.
Of course, you got to have the extra virgin olive oil. Okay. We're off to a good start already. So we're just going to cook that down. We got our pasta water going, that's good. All right, so I'm going to just blend these together, get that cooked down.
And while you're doing that, I'm going to cook the ground beef. Now I'm not putting any oil or anything in the pan because afterwards I'm going to drain this because I don't want any of the fat in the pasta, just the good taste. So I'm using the dry pan.
Okay, and that's also, we should have mentioned, that's lean ground beef.
Yeah,
It's
lean
not,
or extra lean.
extra lean is okay to use too, right? But
yep.
we just got lean today. All right, it's like a cook-off here, Laura.
Who's going to get done first?
All right, so now that my butter is melted, we're going to add our sliced and diced onion and our shredded carrot. So basically what we want to do here, and the mushroom, is we want to cook all of those together and get them cooked down. Okay, so I'm just going to mix that up and cook this down. And eventually, Laura, kind of like you and I being married, we're going to marry your ground beef with this mushroom mixture.
That'll be good.
Okay, so this is going to take a few minutes to cook right here.
Yeah.
Yours will be done probably sooner than mine.
Oh, a lot sooner. So this is almost cooked up, but I do want to add a little salt.
I'll take that salt. I'm going to add some salt too.
I'll just finish this up. I don't need to overcook this because it's going to go, whoops, right into his pot. And you can see where we do have a little bit of that fat, and I don't want that in the pasta.
Yeah, because you started with no oil.
Correct.
That's quite a bit of
yes,
fat.
and that was lean ground beef.
Yeah, can you imagine with regular ground beef how much fat you get?
Mm-hmm.
So we do not want that fat in our sauce.
I mean, it's yummy, but we just don't want it. So I'm going to just take that out and put it in a bowl.
So you're going to let me finish cooking this, and once this is cooked, then we can add your ground beef and go from there. So I think we're almost close to to putting our pasta in, because this comes together, whole recipe comes together really within 30 minutes.
Oh, less than that.
Right?
Yes.
Okay, so pasta water, I'm gonna add my salt. Always add your salt when your water is boiling. And why is that, Laura?
That way it doesn't ruin your pots and pans.
Exactly. So bring it to a boil, and general rule of thumb, I like to add 3/4 of a tablespoon to 1 liter of water. That's how you get the right consistency. You get that nice, as they say, salt water tastes like the sea. Okay, so you know what, Laura? I think I'm going to put the pasta in because it takes 11 minutes to cook.
That'd be about right.
Right, based on the directions on the package. So we're going to put our pasta in. Okay. And I like to just kind of push it in. I don't like to let it fall on its own because I want it all to cook kind of evenly.
It takes too long falling in on its own.
Exactly. Okay, and I'm back to a boil. So once you come back to a boil, that's when you start the meter running, right? So 11
Exactly.
minutes from bringing it back to a boil. Okay.
And I'm going to start to warm up that cream with a little bit of flour so it gets thickened up. I did just scrape off the pan, but I still have that oil right there.
Here's your flour,
And just a little bit of flour.
and here's your cream.
Thank you.
And the point of the flour?
The flour will thicken up the cream even more and will thick up everything and hold it all together. So it's going to hold it together and make a nice creamy sauce. Oops. So we're just going to blend that flour right into the cream.
My mushroom mixture is basically done now as well. So I'm just going to lower the temp a little bit and just keep it cooking on, medium low, let's say. Okay, now Laura, I would have been tempted to just take the cream and flour and just put it right into my sauce.
You can do that, but it's better if you cook it, and that way the flour doesn't taste like flour. It's sort of cooked more. It blends better.
Okay, that makes sense, right?
Yeah, well, you're cooking everything, so we need to cook the flour.
Okay, and how long are you going to cook that for?
Oh, I'm just kind of slowing this down, keeping up with you. Or waiting for you would be the better thing.
Okay, so basically 1 to 2 minutes is plenty.
That's it, yeah.
Okay, let's add the ground beef now so that we could marry the ground beef with all those beautiful mushroom and onion and carrot mixture. So now at this point we're just going to blend these, mix them all together and let those flavors incorporate while that pasta finishes cooking.
And I'm just going to keep this warm and keep you company.
Yeah, so that's basically done,
It's done.
right? Yeah. So now that this is all incorporated nicely, now we can add that 1/4 cup of beef broth. Okay, that we've been reserving, so that gets now added. And this would be the time also to taste and salt to taste. So be careful if you're using store-bought beef broth. There tend to be a lot of salt in there, so you're going to want to taste your ground beef mixture before you add any more salt. We do need a little more salt after that taste test. Okay, that should be good. And what do you think, Laura? You want to, we can maybe add that
Absolutely.
cream to our meat, our ground beef?
Yeah, after all, we do want it to get married.
Okay.
I'll let you do that from that side.
Okay, I shall take it. And, oh yeah, this is going to make an amazing pasta sauce. I still remember the first time having that meal when my cousin Franca made it in Bugnara. And
It was delicious.
honestly, I've mainly had red sauces until then.
Yeah.
So when she served us this white pasta sauce, I thought, I don't know about that. Well, guess what?
It was delicious.
And we had 1,000 courses that day.
Oh my
but
goodness.
It was a fantastic dish. And I am so glad, and in fact, Franca, if you're tuning in from Italy today,
Thank you.
yes, on behalf of all of us here, I want to thank you for sharing your special recipe with us, because we have been enjoying this recipe thoroughly over the past number of years.
Very many years.
Yes, so thanks again, Franca. All right, so now I'm just going to keep this warm. Isn't that nice?
It's beautiful.
Yeah, I'm just going to keep this warm on simmer. We're just going to wait for that pasta to finish cooking.
Yeah, you don't want to bring it to a boil.
No, we're just going to keep it warm. That's it. Okay, let's just test it here. My timer went off. Perfecto. Okay, that can go off. So, let's take, I turned the wrong one off, Laura. Okay, we're going to take our pasta, and in fact, I'm going to, instead of using a strainer, I'm just going to lift it up and add it to our sauce, because there'll be a little bit of pasta water clinging on to the spaghetti, and that's quite all right, because that'll add an extra little bit of creaminess to our already creamy sauce.
And besides, there's only two. We can do this for two.
There we go, yes. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to work a little bit of magic here and get that spaghetti coated, all coated up nicely with this beautiful, beautiful sauce that we made here. Oh yeah. I'm telling you folks, the flavor on this pasta with this sauce is unbelievable. And how quick was that to do, Laura? So quick and easy. Oh, look at that. Oh my goodness. Laura, we're going to be eating good tonight. I will tell you that. Okay. Do you want to do the final touch with the little garnish?
Fresh parsley. Love fresh parsley.
Oh, that looks amazing, amazing. And of course, we do have some freshly grated Parmesan cheese that we have to serve with our beautiful pasta. But just take a look at that dish. Oh my goodness. Okay, Laura, let's go do the taste test and enjoy. So before we dig in, we would like to take a minute and wish each and every one of you a very happy new year, 2022. We hope you have an outstanding year this year.
All the best.
Simply all the best.
Cheers. And cheers.
And cheers to you too. And we do have another great year of recipes ahead of us.
Lots planned.
Now, as you can see, I have a heaping bowl. Yours is not so heaping.
Well, I don't eat as much as you.
And we do still have some pasta left over. So again, that general rule of thumb, 100 grams per person, is definitely the way to go. And I love to sprinkle that nice, freshly grated Parmigiano Reggiano on my pasta. Okay.
Are you ready?
Oh yeah, I can't wait.
Just like these.
Again, Franca, if you're listening in Italy, thank you very much, because this is absolutely delicious.
It's amazing.
Quick and easy to make. Such a great recipe, right from the mountains of Abruzzo, small town of Bugnara. Wherever you're tuning in from today, whether it's Italy or North America or wherever you are, I really hope you give this recipe a try. It is simply delicious.
And quick.
And quick. Until next time, buon appetito.
Bon appetit.